Hello and welcome to Thisnannyknits. This is episode 1 and my name is Lucy. I am podcasting today from Hampshire in England, and yeah, I decided to make a podcast all about my knitting adventures. I wanted somewhere that I could share all of my knits and makes, and I guess crochet too. I do crochet, but it is mostly knits. And I've watched so many different podcasts and just thought, why not give that a go? You can do that. So here I am. So I live here in England with my husband and I'm a nanny, which is why Thisnannyknits. Not a grandma, just a nanny. It's funny because everyone's like, oh, that makes you sound so old, you're a nanny. I'm like, no, I look after children, I'm not a grandma. Anyway, that's me, where I'm coming from. I kind of wanted this space to share my knits and my makes because I don't have anyone in my life that does knit or crochet or anything. It's just something that I decided to do and learn, and now I want to share it with everybody. So I first decided to crochet in, I think it was about 2016. A few people around me were having children and babies, and I wanted to be able to make them a handmade gift. And I thought, you know, that I saw somebody doing it once, I think at like one of the mums at one of the after school clubs, and I was like, that looks really cool, I can do that. So I hopped onto YouTube, got myself some essentials, decided to give it a go, and I love it. I do love crochet, but I just found the deeper I got into it, the more I wanted to knit. I found lots of different patterns and things that I wanted to make, and was like, oh, but it's a knit and I can't knit. And then one day I was just like, well, why can't you knit? Learn to knit. So I learned to knit, and now I do knit more than I crochet. I just find, like I say, that there's more patterns out there of things that I want to make that are knit rather than crochet. So I thought this would be a good place to share that and remain accountable, and just fun to look back on and see, you know, someone's got to start somewhere. So record it, see where it takes you, see what happens, and yeah, what's the worst that can happen, right? It will hold me accountable, and maybe I'll make some new friends along the way. So I've got a few things, sorry, I've got some notes down here, so I'm just having a check about things that I want to talk about, all the details of things that I need to remember, because memory is not my strongest point. So I'm going to start with whips today, and I have a few, and I'm going to show them all to you because I haven't shown obviously any of them before, so I figured it would be pretty good to show them. Let's start with my first one. This is in an awesome bag made by one of my friends, Erica, Cat in the Hat. And so I've been on a bit of a knitting sock frenzy for a while. So I have one here that I have already made. It's just a shorty. So let me tell you about this sock. This is Woolly Mama Yarns. Let me find the tag for you. I can show you. Woolly Mama Yarns. And it is in the colourway Meet Me in Maui. It is a fingering weight, 75% merino, 25% nylon, and I knit these socks on 9-inch Chowgu 9-inch circular needles in a 2.25. I did a 2x2 rib, 5 rounds of stockinette, straight into the slip stitch heel flap and turn and gusset, and then knit for the foot with just a normal toe. So I've made one of those for me, and I've literally just cast on my second one while I was on my knit group. We're actually going away on a little trip tomorrow, and I wanted to get this one casted on just so that I could make the second sock, because summer sock camp starts on Tuesday over on YouTube with the Crazy Sock Lady. So I wanted to get all my socks done so that I could cast on all the socks. So that's those. They'll be for myself. I do prefer shorty socks, just prefer the fit. I'm not much of a sock wearer anyway, but I just quite like having socks to knit because they're really portable, so I can take them, you know, knit in the car, out and about, if I'm at work, if I've got some free time, whatever. So I will always manage, as all knitters do, to squeeze some knitting in everywhere you can. So I'm just getting some of my other projects over here. So we've got a couple of long-standing projects. I think everybody does, don't they? If you're a knitter or crocheter, you will totally understand. So I have a granny stripe blanket, which I started not that long ago. I think at the time I didn't actually have much on my needles, and I needed a project, and I had loads of scraps and things that I wanted to use up from other projects. So I decided to start, it's actually this way, a granny stripe. Now, as you can see, there is no rhyme or reason to my colours. I'm literally just putting them in as I pull them out of the bag. I think it's more fun that way. I have seen a lot of people do some that are brighter colours or more pastel colours, and I do love them. But for me, I didn't have enough of kind of one theme of colours to be able to do that. So I just decided to go all in and put them in as I pick them up. So I don't know how many I knit. This is a pattern based on Lucy of Attic 24. It's just the granny stripe blanket, and I am crocheting it on a Clover 2.5 hook, which is a 4. These are my favourite hooks. These are the Amore, I think, Clover Amore. I don't know, just the grip on them I find is best. Yeah, just my favourite ones to work with. I've tried a few, but that's my favourite. So I literally just have balls of yarn, scraps and things in here that are either minis that have come from another project, which I'll show you in a minute, or just, yeah, leftovers from scraps from other projects that I have made. So that is a crochet whip, and that's actually my only crochet thing that I have right now. I don't have anything else. So I have got in my lovely bag from Hohi, my hobo bag, I have got a very, very, very small mitered square. It's the Cozy Memories, sorry, the Cozy Memories blanket. This is all I have. I have 8 whole squares. To be honest, it's not something I pick up very often, and I need to make more of an effort. And particularly, maybe I need to start picking it up on Scrappy Sundays again. But these yarns are from a club, a Peter Rabbit club that I am part of here. You sign up for and you get 2 mini skeins a month, and it's all Beatrix Potter, Peter Rabbit themed. So I only have 8 squares here, but this bag has a lot of mini skeins and things in it that clearly need to be added, that I just haven't got around to doing, because I guess it just takes a little bit more. I'm not in the rhythm yet. I've only done 8, and I've done them quite sporadically. I haven't just kind of sat down and knit 8 in a row. So I haven't memorised the pattern, to be honest, and I have to concentrate when I'm picking up the stitches, and it's just not an easy go-to for when I just want to knit, basically. So, but I do want to make more of a conscious effort to knit on this, and maybe start weaving in some of the ends, because that's not going to be fun, is it really? So yeah, I have bags and bags and bags of minis in here that I have wound, ready to put, sorry, the rustling, ready to put into the blanket. Just haven't quite got that far, but that's okay. I'm happy that it will take time. I'm in no hurry for it. So I am knitting this, when I'm knitting it, on Chalgo 2.75. So these are from my interchangeable set, and I think it's just on a 14-inch, but it could be smaller. I think it was just the only one I had available at the time. So I'm knitting it on that. I really like the pattern. I think it's really modern. Yeah, it's on Ravelry. I'm really sorry, I can't actually remember who it's by, but it's the Cozy Memories. If you type Cozy Memories in, you'll be able to find the pattern for sure, for sure. And I've done the size that it called for in the pattern. I didn't adjust, so they're quite small squares. I'm thinking if I ever finish this one, I might start another one, but maybe make the squares bigger. Or actually, there's a lady I know in my knit group who does some big squares, so she'll do like one square this size as one whole square, and then she'll do on the next bit like 4 little squares, and just kind of gives it a bit of variety, I guess, which is quite fun, and it looks really good. So I don't know, maybe I'll give that a go next time. We'll see. I need to stop thinking about other things I can cast on and actually just get knitting the things I already have. I do tend to do that. Never mind. There's worse problems to have, right, than too much knitting. And my last WIP, so I actually only have 4. That's not too bad, actually. So this WIP is the one that has taken, sorry, another hohey bag. This WIP has taken most of my time, and there's a reason for that. It is, oh, it looks like a hot mess. Hold on one second. It is the Rocket Tea by Tanis Fibre Arts. I think her name's Tanis Lavelle. I might be mispronouncing that, so I apologise. But I am making the Rocket Tea, and I am not making it exactly as required. So I'm part of Knitty Natty's Love and Stitches membership, and we were doing a spring make along, and it was to make a spring project, and a few of the people in the membership decided to make this Rocket Tea, and I thought, oh yeah, I really like that, I'm going to make it too. So originally in the pattern it is striped, so you have fingering weight yarn for 8 rounds, and then you change and you do mohair for 8 rounds, and then you alternate and keep going down. This is my first raglan increase garment, so that was new to me, to make these increases down here, and I was having trouble, in all honesty. There's yarn overs. I don't know if the camera will really pick it up, but you can see the kind of the gaps that it makes for the yarn overs. Oh yeah, you can, all the way down. And honestly, I was having trouble with the mohair to get those lined up, and it wasn't the pattern's fault at all. It was entirely me. But I ripped it out 3 times, and I was getting really, really frustrated. And so I had looked on Ravelry, and I had seen that some people had made it all in fingering weight yarn. And when I thought about it, I thought, do you know what? I'm going to do that to start. I'm going to make it in fingering weight yarn, and I'm going to see how I go. I'm going to see if I can get the raglan increases to line up and the yarn overs and things. And then if I love it and I love the fit and all works well, then maybe I'll make a second one in a different colour and do the mohair. I think it's because the mohair was so fine. I was doing the yarn overs and then it was going the wrong side of my stitch markers, basically. And I was just getting really frustrated. But at the same time, I'm really stubborn, if you know me in real life. And I don't like to lose to a pattern. That sounds ridiculous, but I wanted to be able to make it, and so I stuck with it, and I think it's turned out pretty well so far. So it's a v-neck top. It's got a short, it's really hard for you to see right here. I do have a picture of it with me trying it on just to see how the fit was, and as I'm new to this, if I can figure out how, I will put it in here for you to see. If not, maybe I can just add it on to the end. Because bear with me with my editing. I've never done anything like this, so this is all new to me. I'm a total novice. But yes, so this is the Rocket Tea. I've got quite a bit done. Let me show you from the bottom. It's obviously gathered. I'm not that slim. I'm almost there. I think it says in the pattern from the under the arm to do 15 inches, and I tried it on again yesterday, and I mean, I'm not sure how many inches it is because I haven't measured it in a while. It might be about 11, maybe 12. Anyway, I tried it on yesterday and I don't know if I want it to be that long, so I put a stitch marker in here, progress keeper, sorry, in here yesterday, this little feather that you can see, and I think I want about 2 more inches. So I've knit on this morning in knit group about 1 inch, so maybe another inch, and then I think I'm going to try it on and see how the length is, and then obviously I can bind off for the bottom, and then I'll go in and I'll pick up and do the edging on the sleeves and then the v-neck. So I think you have to go in and add something into the v-neck here because it's not the best finish. It's going to need a little something to make that prettier. Anyway, I am knitting these on Chalgu because if you haven't guessed already, they are my absolute favourite needles. This is the red lace set. I don't actually have them here, but it's the interchangeable set. This is a 3.75mm, so a 5, and I'm doing it on a 22-inch cord. Yeah, not much to say about it. The yarn is, I dropped my yarn label. I wonder if I can get it. Hold on. I was really organised and got everything out, and then I think the nerves got the better of me. I am making this with Skein Queen yarn, and I'm sorry, that's backwards, isn't it? Never mind, I will sort that. I'm making it on Skein Queen yarn. It's a local yarn dyer here, not that far from me actually, a few miles from me, but they don't have a store. They do sell some select skeins in a store near me, but it's mostly online, so I tend to buy it online and then try and get home before my husband, before he sees all the yarn deliveries. But anyway, this is on her crush base, which is 25% superwash merino, sorry, 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, and it's 100 gram skein and 425 meters. See, I knew I was going to mess that up. 425 meters, and it's in her colorway Blue Star. So it's knit up really nice actually. What I did at first, because I needed 2 skeins of this yarn, is I did the kind of yoke part, got past the decreases until I was just knitting round, and then I did helical knitting with both skeins just to kind of blend in the second skein, because I didn't really want to have a distinguished line as to where I stopped with one skein and started with another. And I don't know if I would have, because it's quite variegated, but I didn't want to run the risk and then have to go back and, you know, undo it all, rip it out, and then start again, because that is not fun. This is actually a bit of a mess. I was going to show you this, but I guess I still will. This is in a yarn cozy by Nitty Natty. These are really cool. They're obviously knit up, and you can cake up your 100 gram hank of yarn and pop it inside here, and it just stops it getting unravelled in your bag, although I am in a little bit of a pickle here. I'm not quite sure what happened, but I'm rolling with it. I mean, it would be worse if I didn't have it in one of these, I'm sure. So it's my fault because I'm pulling from the centre. We just had this discussion on Knit Group about the differences between pulling from the centre and pulling from the outside. So I'm going to try pulling from the outside next time. But that is that project, and that is the one that I really want to get finished soon, in the next, you know, week, I think, because I want to wear it, in all honesty, and the weather's really picking up here, and it will be perfect. Oh, sorry, I just knocked the camera. That wasn't ideal, was it? Let's move it back. Come on. I might have to edit that out. Anyway, the weather's getting better here, and yeah, I really want to be able to wear it, basically. So I have something else in mind too, which I shouldn't be thinking of yet because I have 4 whips, but I am, because I'm forever thinking about what I can knit next, and I always think that I can knit faster than my hands will actually knit, but it's a first world problem really, isn't it? Okay, so that's all for whips today. I have one finished object, which is a bit lame, just having one, but I have something. So I was talking about my love of socks earlier, and I love making them, but my mother loves receiving them. So I tend to make a pair of socks for my mum every time I make a pair of socks for me, because out of a 100-gram skein, I can knit 2 pairs of shorty socks, and we both love shorty socks the best. So again, it's the same yarn, so it looks exactly like the one I've just shown you, but in my mum's size. It's the same thing, same size needles, 2.25 Chalgu 9-inch, 2x2 rib, heel flap and gusset. I think mum has 50 rounds for her foot before I then go and decrease for the toe. So it's mum's birthday on the 9th of June. So hopefully mum doesn't watch this because I'm hoping to put it out before that. I did not think that through. Well, if you do, mum, enjoy your pair of socks. I've just popped these on these blockers to show you. So she's got these. I haven't actually blocked them, which reminds me I do need to do that. Do people block their socks? Does everyone else block their socks? Or do you just wear them? Because they stretch out and block when you wear them, right? I mean, I normally do for a gift, but because I'm making so many right now, particularly for me and my mum, I don't think she'd really notice, to be honest. I don't tend to block them for myself. Maybe I don't need to. There's a thought. Let me know down in the comments below if you block your socks, if you see any benefit from blocking your socks. But they're for mum. That's my one and only finished object, but I'm hoping that that will change for next time because I have a few things that I want to wrap up. So let's talk about new cast-ons, because this is my favourite thing. My favourite thing is picking out yarn. Now, I'm not necessarily very good at picking great colours, I don't think. And I always pick the same thing. So I'm a pink girl normally, and yeah, I'm always drawn to the pinks, sometimes the purples, but mostly the pinks, which was why actually I didn't end up, I'm surprised with myself, I didn't end up with a pink rocket tee, and it was my intention, but I was sat with my husband and we were chatting about it, and I was like, oh, I need to get some more yarn, and he's like, more yarn, really? Do you need some? And I was explaining to him that I wanted to make this pattern, and actually he said, you look great in pink, I love pink, but why don't you try something different? So I went with the blue. That was his choice. And I did say to him, I remember saying, this is your fault. If I make this item and I don't love it as much as I would have in pink, you're going to have to buy me some more pink yarn so that I can then make it in pink too. I don't know who I'm kidding. I'll probably end up making it in pink as well, but whatever. Anyway, my train of thought is running away with me. New cast-ons. So Knitty Natty is making the Summer Sorrel Tea, and I love it. I've looked at this pattern before and it's been in my favourites for quite a while, but I don't know what they're called. Someone help me out. The design, it kind of radiates from the neckline. I've always thought that that was going to be really difficult, and I'm not saying that it's easy because I haven't tried it, but I keep telling myself, like, there's a lot of projects on Ravelry of people that have made it. If those people can make it, I sure can make it, right? So I think I'm going to make that. In fact, I'm going to the yarn store this afternoon, which is not something I typically do because we don't have great yarn stores around here. There's a couple, but they mostly sell commercial-based yarns, and I like indie-dyed yarns the best. The hanks that you get, just winding them up, seeing the colours change. It just, I think, I'll show you, I've got some down here. I just love to look at a hank like this. This is a beautiful, beautiful, it's called California Dreaming yarn by Castleview Yarns, and I love her yarns so much. But I love the fact that you can choose a yarn in a hank like this, and then you can wind it and it look quite different, but I still love it. And then obviously you knit it up, and again it looks different because of the way the colours pool. So yes, they don't sell many skeins or hanks of yarn like this in my local yarn stores that are indie dyed. They are mostly commercial based, but there is one sort of locally, I think it's 10 miles or so out, that sells Skiing Queen yarn, a selection of her yarn. So I think I'm going to go there and I'm going to go and see if I can find some yarn for the Somersault tee. And then of course the crazy sock lady Kay, she has Somersault camp starting on Tuesday, so I will mostly be knitting socks for the next 3 months. I have already picked out some yarns which I have got here, which I will show you. My plan is, so I've made a little list. I don't actually bring my list here with me, I'm not sure where it is. I think of 6. I think my list has got 6 pairs of socks on that I'd like to try and accomplish before the end of camp, which I think finishes the end of August. So that's 2 pairs a month, which I think is quite achievable for me, given that I'll have some time off too in the summer, and I've actually got next week off of work, which is quite nice because it's half term here in England and my nanny family are going away. So that will be really nice because that will give me a real good head start on Somersault camp. So starting on Tuesday, I've already caked up some yarn, again in more yarn cozies from Knitty Natty. I've got this beautiful, surprise surprise, pink colour. It's got pinks and it's got some darker magenta and yellow and orange, and I love it. This is again Castleview Yarns. I won't bother showing you because it'll be backwards. In the colourway Summer Breeze. So this is a 75% merino and 25% nylon fingering weight, and 100 grams gets you 425 meters. So this is going to be knit up in tandem on 9-inch circular Chalgu needles, and I am going to make the String of Hearts socks, but in shorties. So Maddie Hobbs, who is the designer of the String of Hearts socks, is in our Love and Stitches knit group, and she designed the most beautiful socks that have got hearts running down the side, and I think she designed them for Mother's Day in the US because that's when they were released, and I was supposed to cast them on, but to be honest I had so much going on I just didn't get round to it, and I thought I'm gonna wait for sock camp. I've got this perfect pinky yarn that'll look really pretty with the hearts running down the side, and I'm not sure how much I'll have left after doing, it's a cabled design, so I'm not sure how much of it I will have left after doing 1 pair, but if I can get 2 shorty pairs out of here, then I guess that's another bonus for mum. So that's those ones, and then I have got one other caked up that I'd like to make socks out of, and this is another one by Woolly Mama Yarns, and again it's the same base. It's her 4-ply fingering, 100 grams, 425 meters, which is 465 yards for anyone that works in yards, and it's a 75-25, and the colorway is Rainbow Electric, so it's very bright, quite neon, but I thought it would be really fun. I actually bought these 2 skeins of yarn from one of the ladies in our knit group. She was destashing some, and I don't know, the colours, I just love the brights and the, I don't know, I think you just know, don't you, when you see yarn you're like, yep, that's my skein, I'm having that. So there's 2. I also have a few goals for Somersault camp actually. I would like to try and do 2 circulars. I didn't bring them over. I did buy 2 fixed 16-inch circular needles in a 2.25 Chalgu red lace, if I didn't say that already, because I want to be able to do 2 circulars, and I know a few people that do them in knit group, and I know that Kay is bringing out a video tutorial for that, so I did want to give that a go because I'm not such a Magic Loop fan. I'm one of these people that when I knit socks on Magic Loop, I get the runs down the side because the ladders, because I obviously don't do that second stitch tight enough. But to be fair, it's been a while since I've tried, so maybe I do need to give that a go again another day. Maybe that'll go on my list if I get time, but I've got too many things on my list. Yeah, so 6 pairs of socks I think is quite achievable. I'm going to give that a good go. I don't have any other plans for any new cast-ons yet. I think that might be enough for now. That'll get me through the summer. I always find that socks are really good for summer knitting because, I mean, it doesn't get particularly hot here in England, but when it is warm, you don't want to sit there with like a massive jumper or anything, or a sweater or a blanket or whatever on your lap while you're knitting away. So socks are very, very good for that. Okay, so some happy mail. I did actually get a couple of things. I'm just going to have a swig of water because this is the most I've talked in a while. And if you didn't already know, I have just as I decided to make this podcast, I came down with laryngitis and I couldn't speak, which was a godsend for my husband, bless him. He had the most peaceful week of his life. But yeah, when I talk so much, it gets a bit husky again and a bit croaky, so I have to be careful. I don't want to, I don't really want to lose that again. Makes my job quite tricky. Okay, so yes, some happy mail. Literally just before I pushed record, I had some mail. So as I mentioned, for my Cozy Memories blanket, I am part of I purchase every month yarn from the Peter Rabbit, Beatrix Potter yarn club that I'm part of, and it's by a company called Yarn for the Soul. I don't have a business card of theirs, but let me just see if I can. I know it will be backwards, but it might help you to know. This is their little logo. Anyway, Yarn for the Soul, and every month you get a little snippet of a story from Beatrix Potter, and you get 2 mini skeins that are based on that snippet of the story. So I've got this lovely paley, creamy, purpley, it's beautiful actually. I'd love that in a large skein, one of those. And then this one just looks like an undyed, but I actually quite like that because I have so many bright colours and things going on in my blanket. Sometimes it's really nice to just have a neutral to mix things up. So I've got those to add into my bag from the Beatrix Potter Club. And then, I've made a new discovery. So it's not been long since I had found Castleview Yarns. I think I stumbled upon her on Instagram, and I literally have fallen in love with every single colourway since. And then last month I found that she has started a Friends mini skein yarn club. Now this is going to be a bit rustly, so I'm really sorry, but I didn't get it out beforehand. So let me do this first. I'll try and do it as quietly as possible. Oh my goodness, that is a lot of rustling, I'm so sorry. Okay, so in actual fact, I missed her first month because I was late to the party, but she has done a catch-up month, but I don't have them yet. So I'm showing you the second month instalment, which is, so there's this, the one with the mini skeins from Friends. I'm a massive Friends fan. My sister loved it growing up, and kind of, she's a little older than me. She's 5 years older than me, and so kind of got me hooked. And I don't know, it's just easy watching. And even now to this day, my husband and I will sit here and watch it while waiting for dinner to cook or whatever. But this is the one with the mini skein. So this was May's and it's Joey. And so if you've ordered these and you haven't received them and you haven't seen the colours, please look away now because I'm about to share them. So the first one I'm going to share is this beautiful mini skein with these reds and these yellows and these rusts. And this is called Joey Doesn't Share Food. I love it. We have got this, oh my goodness, this. Now this isn't normally a colour I would go for, but I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but it's so tonal and so rich. It's a green. I don't know what it is about it because green is not my colour. She says that she's wearing a green top, but generally green is not my colour. But this is called Je m'appelle Claude. Oh, every time I look at these or I read the colourway, I'm like, oh yeah, I know that episode. Oh, I say that and then I'm not sure about this one. This is a nice blue. beautiful. So these are 20 grams, if I haven't said that already. Sorry, I'm getting a bit carried away loving all the yarn. This is Ichiban. Am I saying that right? Ichiban? I think. Anyway, that's a beautiful one. And then this one is Hugsy. Hugsy the penguin. Oh my goodness, that's a good episode too. I could say that about everyone, so I apologise in advance. And the last one is How You Doing? This beautiful kind of mauvey, purpley, tonal colour. Anyway, so this is my new latest obsession. So you get 5 every month. I'm presuming it'll go on for 6 months because there's six characters. So this was the Joey collection. I missed out on the Monica, but I have back ordered it. So Monica will be coming, and I have also ordered Phoebe because Phoebe is June's month. So I'm presuming they'll come together. I have no idea what I'm going to make with these at all, but I just knew I had to have them. I probably expect it will end up being a blanket or something, but I don't know because I have a lot of blankets, and realistically, how many blankets does one person need? I don't know. Considering my husband doesn't like blankets and it's just me that really uses them, I'm thinking I don't really need another one. But anyway, so that is all my happy mail. I am waiting on some other things, but they have not arrived yet, so I'll share them with you next time. So I was going to share a little bit about me and my life. There's not much exciting going on here at all. I've got the next week off. As I say, my nanny family are going on holiday. They're having a little break together, which it will be lovely, which means I get a week off, which is also equally lovely. It's also my birthday next week, so my husband is off and we've got some plans. I don't really know to do what. He's made plans for my birthday, so I've just been told to be available. So we shall see. Tomorrow we are travelling down to Devon to see my aunt and her husband. We haven't seen them much. Obviously COVID's happened and yeah, I miss them. It'd be really nice to go down and see them. We did see them last summer, I think, briefly. I did take my nan down to visit because she doesn't get down there very often. It's a long drive for her. I mean, it's long enough for us. It's what, 3.5 hours on a good day with no traffic. So I mean, it's taken 6+ hours before. It just depends on traffic, but we're doing that tomorrow. So I'm hoping to get that second sock finished by Tuesday. We're going down there for a couple of days, so that second sock finished for Tuesday so that my needles are free for summer sock camp. And I would really like to have the body done on my rocket tee so that in the week I can just pick up the sleeves and do the edging and then the neckline on that too. So let's see. I've said it here first, so they're my goals for the week. If I exceed those, oh, and obviously I need to cast on a pair of socks for summer sock camp because the launch is on Tuesday. So I know there's various things going on social media for like sit and knit cast-ons and things, so I need to be there and do that as well, which will actually be great for me because I'm off. I'll be able to go in real time. Normally, because the time zones don't work in my favour, I normally have to catch up, and it's fine and it's nice to see, you know, what they've been talking about and whatever, but it's not quite the same as being there and joining in live, if you like, is it? So I think that's really it for life. There's one more thing. I'm doing a Scrappy Swap within my Love and Stitches membership with Nitty Natty, and I'm swapping with a lovely lady called Gretchen in California, and so I've got her a Scrappy Swap parcel ready to go. So we basically agreed to swap 15 20-gram scraps from our leftovers, and I've bagged them all up and put some goodies in there and some English treats, which I hope she'll like. And yeah, I'm ready to post that off to her, which is really exciting because it's the first swap I've ever done, and I can't wait to send it off to her because then obviously I will receive my parcel from her, and I'm really excited to see what we've put in each other's parcels. And I think then we're going to do a scrappy make along with our knit group, and again, I've no idea what I'm going to cast on with them, but I'm quite excited to find a project and have that going as well. So I think that's pretty much it. I have probably rambled on for long enough for my first episode. I do have one more thing I would like to add. So I'm actually doing a giveaway for my first episode because I thought that's kind of how I want to start it off. Why not? Let's celebrate the first episode of recording. Not the editing part yet, I can't celebrate that too soon, but I am going to give away, so let's start. So Mandy's Makings does share a pair sock sets. I don't know if you've seen them. They are amazing, and I have knit one with one of my knit friends, Erica, who very kindly sent me a set. So we knit a pair of socks together, which was really cool. And Mandy always does a shop update, and I don't make it in time. I'm too slow. I'm either asleep while the rest of the world is awake buying them, or I'm clearly just not quick enough on my phone. But I found somebody here in the UK, what was their name? I just put my notebook down, that was really silly. Called Ducky Ducklings, and they do sister sets. So it's along the same basis. You get two 50-gram skeins in contrasting colours or complementing colours, I guess. And they only come in one set, so you buy one set, but I'm thinking I'm going to buy two sets, and I'm going to give one away and keep one for myself, and hopefully if this person wants to, knit a pair of socks with them, like the share a pair, because I think that would be really fun. So I've actually picked the winner already because I based it on the first person that came over to me on Instagram at Thisnannyknits. So my very, very first follower is my winner, and it is Charlie Mitten, and you are at Charlie is a Sinner on Instagram, and you are also part of my knit group. So that's exciting. So Charlie, contact me. I will put all the info down below. I didn't say that at the beginning actually, but I will link my Instagram and my Ravelry, and any companies that I mentioned down below for you to check out if you want to, and I will put my email address down there. So Charlie, if you want to email me or Instagram message me or whatever, it would be really cool if you wanted to knit a pair of socks together with the Ducky Duckling sets. So we can have a look online. There are so many good colours. They're called the sister sets, so I thought we could look online together and pick a colour and knit those together for being my very, very first follower, because I appreciate you all. Yes, I need to stop saying I've learned that in this 40 minutes that I've been rambling on. Thank you so much for coming over and watching my very first podcast episode. I hope that you have enjoyed the content. I am hoping I will have more finished objects for you next time. But in the meantime, have a great week. Stay safe, everybody, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.